I think Little Village is really unique in a lot of ways. Yes, we do a lot of training with the staff. We provide in-services, and even the movement department, we've provided in-services for the staff about play and creativity.
Little Village is the sky's the limit. If you have an idea and it's going to benefit the children, they will let you go with it.
The groups, while they look like a lot of fun and very spontaneous and playful, there's really a lot that's happening within a group that we're working on.
You have to be creative in ways to motivate the kids. At a preschool level, that's when you're doing a reading lesson, you're incorporating art, or when you're doing a math lesson, you're incorporating reading. And I think that also is very important when working with children with special needs, because it also touches upon a number of learning modalities. There's always going to be something to celebrate, always something positive. They could be as small as a child blowing their nose, a child eating their yogurt all by themselves, or even just a child saying hello. The staff here is a part of those accomplishments, and hopefully we're here to help them make more and more accomplishments, and then sometimes be able to even graduate and leave Little Village.
I've had the greatest pleasure of really devoting my career to the children and families at Little Village. I've been here for almost 40 years, and every day I wake up and I'm so thrilled to be in this position and to have the opportunity to work with children and families. And hopefully we've impacted so many lives in a positive way, and that just brings me great, great pleasure.
Brought you are to me.
Matthew has a chromosomal syndrome. He also has fairly bad ADHD. He has anxiety, some behavior issues, and when he was about 7, he started having seizures.
Matt started here at Little Village when he was 2 years old. He started in the early intervention program.
He graduated in June. I definitely think it was harder on myself than it was on him, but I credit the school with everything. I mean, he started here, he was not walking or talking at all, and now he doesn't stop talking for a minute. He's running, jumping, skipping, and that's all this school.
I think what makes Little Village really special, it really is more of a community. It's because of the staff and the administration that you have that feeling of community.
In my last 2 years here, I was co-president of the PA board. I also, once a week, was here for a mother's group, which was, like a therapy group, and there's also a sibling group, which my daughter, who is 2 years older than Matt, she's 14, she was in the sibling group when she was a little younger. It was really great for her to be able to come here and talk to other children her age that were going through the same thing.
Matt loved his experience here. He really did. He would come home every day. He would tell us about his friends. He would tell us about the teachers, the staff.
Little Village has helped set the stage for his future by being there for him.
Little Village is certainly a great school. 10 years ago, we weren't sure. We didn't know. It was all unknown to us. We made the right decision, and it certainly worked for our son. It worked for our family.
I can't, there's just no way to talk enough about how great the school is. He's so happy, and he's able to express himself, and it's just amazing how far he's come.
In the special education field, there's a lot of excitement around the technology that has become available during the last decade or so. We do our very best at Little Village to make sure we are on the cutting edge in terms of not just therapeutic techniques, but the equipment and the technology that our staff have access to, both access in terms of using and training with that technology. And again, that training and that ability to use this technology helps us to provide the very best education and therapeutic environment for our students.
Brody, he's our prize. He's 7 years old. He was born premature.
We kind of knew that, things were at risk, his life in general. So when they tested the baby with the head ultrasound, they said, oh, well, your child had a brain hemorrhage, and there's 4 grades, 4 being the worst, he was a 3. So they said because of all of this damage to the brain, he could have cerebral palsy, and we're gonna keep checking every week to see if there's any other damage.
When you have a child with cerebral palsy who doesn't walk, your concern is we want him to walk.
Brody needs a lot of equipment, and I have to do either go through Medicaid or my insurance, and Little Village and all of the workers, they help me arrange, they do all the fittings, the sizes, communicate and help write letters and emails to kind of keep the process moving, because it does take a long time having equipment because it's very expensive. So every time he grows out of equipment, we just donate it right back to the school to help other families, because we know it's so challenging, to get a wheelchair or a stander for a child.
I know some unfortunate stories about schools and services and what people are able to get or not to get. And we're so thankful to be on the good side of those stories. It's really, I'm describing it, but it's indescribable. It's amazing. And this place is a fantastic place for children who have certain needs.
The staff is magnificent here at Little Village. They work with you so well. Communication books, emailing, calling you, having short little conferences in the hallway. Without them, I don't know where he would be today.
It must be part of the hiring process to really truly understand what they're asking of and the mission of this place. To really know the child, to get to, they're not just a student in a class, they're a person who has needs, and every child has different needs, and they cater to those needs.
And they all have a bond, the staff members, they work so well together, and it's a happy place to really be around.
It's the people inside, and it's the staff, and it's the administration, and it starts from the top down. Everybody here wants to be here, loves to be here, and truly cares for all the kids.
At Little Village, the children that come here all present with their own individual and unique needs. So to that end, our teaching staff, our therapists do their best to assess their needs and to work with each child on their own goals to help them achieve in every domain that they need help with.
We work very, very hard to make sure that all of our staff are very well trained with all of the most current trends, technology, any different aspects of new curriculum modifications that need to be made, and share that knowledge with them.
Ellie was adopted from China at 14 months old, and Ellie has albinism, which means that she has red hair and blue eyes. Looks like she's a little Irish Chinese girl. But the disability that comes along with albinism is that she's legally blind and is visually impaired. When Ellie started here, she was pretty much nonverbal. She was delayed in her physical development as well. She was in an orphanage for 14 months that had not much stimulation, so it was almost like starting from scratch when she came in terms of her social and emotional development. Little Village has been able to address all of those needs and really give her what she needed to grow in every one of those areas. It's literally been 2.5 years of watching a life change, really. I've thought a lot about what makes this school so special as a parent, but mostly, honestly, as an educator. I think about why can this school do what other schools can't? And I really believe that it's about setting an intentional culture, about leadership who see that school can be a certain way and who really intentionally foster that culture among the staff and reinforce it with their language, with the environment, with the kinds of communication they use. And I think that unique combination of people has been able to create an environment that's really amazing. I really just couldn't have asked for a better place. And I tell people all the time, this is the model of what schools should be. Even before I knew about equipment for Ellie, they had her set up with an iPad that mirrors the smartboard and actually allows her to participate. So if instead of Ellie walking to the smartboard and circling the whale, she's actually able to do it on her iPad and have it display on the smartboard, which allows her to be a full participant in the class. But they found that software within weeks of her being here and set her up with it. And they've been on top of every cutting-edge technology or assistive device that has been available for her. They literally have changed my daughter's life. I can never, ever put into words what the school has meant to my family and how much I appreciate it.
The Hagedorn Little Village School exists largely thanks to the support and the generosity of our communities.
We rely so heavily upon very, very generous and kind people who are willing to donate to our great cause here.
And we're very grateful for all those who become part of the extended community at Little Village. It's their support that may not show every day while we're here, but for those of us who are here, we know we wouldn't exist without their kindness.
It has just been my greatest point in my life. It's amazing to see families and children and work with them collaboratively.
Little Village School is hope. And I hope that when families enter this school, they feel the warmth that all the staff has and all the love that we have for the children.
It is great. It's a great job. The kids are amazing. They're gifts every day, even on the hard days.
'Cause you can't tell 'em what it's like. But let me tell you now, one day how bright you really shine, how bright you are tonight.